Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Ultraman Dyna. Now, this character comes from the 1997 series, well, Ultraman Dyna, which is the sequel series to Ultraman Tiga, which is my favorite Ultra show ever. Granted, I haven't seen a lot of Ultra shows, but still, Ultraman Tiga is one of my favorites. Or so it used to be. I don't want to say Ultraman Dyna is my new favorite, but I just don't know which one I like more. Like, on the one hand, like, Ultraman Dyna, it's on the same level as Tiga, but it's, like, a little more comedic. And admittedly, some of those, like, comedic moments do kind of take me out of the show. They make me laugh, don't get me wrong, but, like, they do kind of take me out of the show a little bit. But at the same time, like, the ending to Ultraman Dyna, like, the last 3 episodes are, like, really good. So I don't know which one I like more, but regardless, I do really like Ultraman Dyna. I think it is a great show. So yeah. Anyway, I have been rambling on for far too long now. Let's just get into this. Like usual, to start this review, we'll take a look at the paint, and the painting on this figure I think looks very solid. So you can't really tell right off the bat because, like, this is a very colorful figure, but a lot of the parts here are actually cast in this, like, reddish material, and, like, all the blues and, like, metallic silvers here are just kind of painted on, which are painted on very nicely, you know, very neatly. Nothing looks too sloppy or anything like that. It looks good here, and I do like it. His chest here, or this bit on his chest here, is painted gold with a bit of metallic silver on the outside. And his color timer here is colored a very bright shade of blue, like a cyan sort of color. His eyes here. So the inside of his eyes are going to be painted, but they're actually going to be covered with a clear piece of plastic, which I think looks really nice. And his ears here are painted black. Lastly, his forehead here, his little horn thing, whatever you want to call this. This is painted a gold coloration, just like with the chest here, with a little bit of black in the center there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the painting on this figure. Overall, I think the painting on this figure looks really good. I love the colors. Everything here is very vibrant, and overall, the painting on this figure looks great. So the paint, I'd say, definitely gets a pass. Now, we'll take a look at the articulation. And the articulation on this figure, I think, is very good. So let's take a closer look. So the base of the head here, it's on a ball joint, though it's very limited, so it just kind of acts more like a swivel. But you can get some movement like so. The base of the neck is on a ball joint, so he can look up like so. I wish he could look up a little more, but still, that's not horrible. The arms can move 360 like so, and move outwards. Though the thing that I really like here is that both of the arms here can actually extend at the shoulders, so that way he can cross his arms like so. Ultraman Tiga and Ultra 7 weren't able to do this, so I'm glad that they were able to incorporate that on this figure. I think it works really nicely. So yeah, we have a bicep swivel here, a double bend at the elbows here, and the wrists are on ball joints. Moving back to the body here, the upper torso is on a ball joint, as well as the lower torso. Dyna can kick forward about that far and kick backwards about that far. He can spread his legs like so. We have a double bend in each of the knees here. We have a little, actually that's a really good ankle swivel, pretty good ankle swivel here. It can move, or the ankles can move downwards like so, and upwards. And we have a bend in the toes. And that's pretty much it for the articulation on this figure. Overall, like, I'd say it's on par with other, like, SH Figuarts Ultraman figures that I've reviewed on this channel, though I think, the addition of, like, the extending shoulders on this figure are really nice, so the articulation on this figure is great. Definitely gets a pass. Ultraman Dyna here comes with a few accessories, so let's take a closer look at those, starting with the alternate hands. First of all, we have a couple of karate chop hands. We have a pair of open hands, like so. We have a pair of flat hands. We have a pair of slightly more open hands. And we have a pair of thumbs up hands, which is actually really nice. Ultraman Dyna also comes with an alternate color timer piece to make it look like he's, being low, he's getting low on energy. And he also comes with a Specium Ray, which gave me a heart attack when I first opened it, because when I first opened it, the hand actually disconnected from the beam itself, which I thought I broke it, and I almost had a stroke, but apparently, you can, disconnect the two, so that way it is easier to, attach that accessory. So, yeah. I'm glad I didn't break this not super cheap figure, so, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it for the accessories. Now, we'll take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpting on this figure, I think looks very good. I think this is pretty much one-to-one with how, Ultraman Dyna looked in the show. Nothing looks too, out of place here, nothing's too big, nothing's too small. Overall, I do think the proportions look very nice, so overall, I do think the sculpting looks mostly good. There are a couple minor things, though. First of all, and I mentioned this earlier, the extending shoulders, I'm glad this is a feature, but, when it is extended like this, it does look a little weird, And to be fair, I'm okay with this because, again, you can get, more, movements, with his arms here. So. So this, I can totally forgive this, how that looks. Entirely. But there is one thing that I don't like. When you move the chest up more, like so, you can see there is a gap here, and I'm sorry, this just does not look good to me. It's very minor, but it's still just very annoying. You can see, the inside of the figure, and it's just, I don't know. I wish they kind of played with that more, so that way, there wasn't a gap there. I think that would have been nicer, but I digress. Regardless, yeah, that is pretty much it for the sculpting on this figure. And besides those minor things, the sculpting here still looks very nice. So the sculpting here, I'd say gets a pass. Now, we'll take a look at the detailing, and the detailing on this figure, I think looks good. The thing with, Ultras is that it's kind of tough because there's not really a lot of, texturing on these, sort of characters. It's mostly, mostly smooth, and usually, in figure form, we usually, mostly get, kind of, folds in the skin here. You can kind of see that on the shoulders here, right there. And even on the feet here as well, there's some foldings and creases and whatnot, which looks good. But again, Ultras, there's not really a lot of texturing or anything like that compared to something like Godzilla or Gamera or something. So again, it's mostly smooth, but that's not a bad thing because again, that's how these guys looked in the show. I mean, there's a little bit of paneling here on the forehead bit here, and just the smoothness, it does look very sleek, and it looks very good. But, again, as far as texturing goes, there's not a whole lot to say, which is not a bad thing, Again, just, not a whole lot going on texture-wise. Some of, these silver bits on the shoulders here, they pop out more, all of, the, different colored bits. There is, a little bit of, an indentation between them, between each of the colors here. So, yeah. Again, not a whole lot to say about the detailing here because, again, Ultras are usually, smoother. They're not scaly like Godzilla or anything like that, but still, as is, I think the detailing looks okay. So the detailing here, I'd say gets a pass. Now, we'll do some size comparisons. To start, here we have the SH Figuarts Ultraman Dyna. Right off the bat, I just want to say, these two look very good together. But I digress. Anyway, here we have the SH Figuarts Ultraman. Just Ultraman, not Ultraman. Just Ultraman. Here we have the SH Figuarts Shin Ultraman. And of course, here we have some hand sanitizer. And here we have Dr. Billy Grant. So at the end of the day, should you get this figure? I'd say yes. You know, I think the painting looks great, the articulation's great, the sculpting. I mean, I could have done without the gap in the chest, but overall the sculpting looks great, the detailing looks great. Overall, I do think this is a great figure, and I definitely recommend that you pick this one up. As far as price tags go, just like with the SH Figuarts Ella King, I got this guy from E-Night Media, I think for like a little over $70, which isn't cheap, but it's better than paying like $89 or however much Big Bad Toy Store is selling this guy. So if you do want this guy, which I do recommend you pick him up, get him through E-Night Media because he is notably cheaper there. So, yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zack out.